So I'm reading Zig Ziglar's book, Secrets of Closing the Sale. I've read some of his other books as well, and Zig Ziglar is obviously known for being a Christian salesperson and being someone who holds a high standard of integrity in selling. And that's one of the reasons why I look up to him, but also just because of his massive years of experience he has. It really becomes clear when you read the book that he knows what he's talking about. For me, sometimes it's a little bit difficult with Zig Ziglar because he does hold a very high standard in terms of integrity, and it's not. I want to be a person of integrity as well, but sometimes I get a little bit frustrated with prospects, and personally, I don't always agree with think about just serving the customer. I think as salespeople and as business owners, that should obviously be a big part of what we do, but I think also it should be a little bit about ourselves and the things that we want to create as well. So for me, it's a little bit frustrating sometimes, but again, I really respect his philosophy, and I also myself, I try to really have like a high standard in integrity. For me, I just like to, when my feelings are a certain way, I just like to express that, obviously in a healthy way. I don't want to make anyone, I don't want to make bad impression on people or be like a toxic person, nothing like that. It's just like, I want to have integrity, but at the same time, if I feel like there's something that puts me off, sometimes I am going to hold it back, but sometimes I'm also going to express that. Because maybe something puts me off, maybe something frustrates me, and I think it's not about holding myself back, or setting a low standard. It's about, for me, setting my boundaries and not letting people take advantage of my emotions and me also wanting to do something in the world. So maybe I just have a different sense of integrity. Or maybe he also has a similar sense of integrity actually, but he just doesn't mention it in the book. It's also possible. But anyways, I am reading his book, and I haven't gotten through the end yet. I'm still in the beginning chapters. But so far he talks about his wife, his girlfriend, his wife, who he calls the redhead, and he talks about her trying to persuade him into buying a house, and then how she goes about that, the tricks that she uses. Because also, obviously, Zig Ziglar was a salesperson at that time as well, and so obviously she learned some tricks from Zig Ziglar, and they probably talked about it a lot. So he breaks down some of the clauses or some of the tactics that she used in his book to convince Zig Ziglar of having like a higher price for a house than he thought initially, or that this house is like the right fit for him and things like that. So this is one of the first chapters, and I think, to me, in a way that's interesting because for me, like, it's also something I hold dear. Like, I also want to attract a wife, attract women in my life. I coming from a little bit of a cold approach background, so I'm still wondering if it's like, which way do I want to take it all, but I know that when I hear Zig Ziglar talking about his wife, it's something that's like, I hold in my mind, like, is that someone that's probably someone I can learn from. Not necessarily replicate him, but I can definitely see some great things in the relationship with his wife as well. And so I'm here at the station today. It's getting a bit dark, but some of the things that he mentions in the book just gives me the idea that he is someone who talks with a lot of experience. The way he even frames the book in the beginning, it's about credibility as a salesperson, and then setting standards for yourself. And he has like a list of factors. And when you think about it, those factors, like, they seem pretty obvious on the surface level. But then what he does is, like, before each of those bullet points, he says, selling you on why you need credibility as a salesperson. And just having that part before it makes it more intriguing for me, because I realize that even though I know probably that I need that as a salesperson, it's like just the fact that I need to be sold on that as well. And that gives it like an interesting twist for me. I don't know how to put it into words, but it really struck a chord with me. And I think that was interesting. So I still have a lot of chapters to explore in the book. And, I'm working with my sales mantra in the meantime. But I'm looking forward to it. I need to be a bit in the right vibe sometimes, because he does hold a very high standard for serving the customer. And I want to live up to that. But sometimes I feel like a little bit frustrated as well. And then I'm like, well, I want to do that. I want to serve your customer, but like I want to set my boundaries as well. And I still do think that's a valid perspective for me to hold. But obviously there's the perspective of wanting the best purely for the customer as well. And I think serving the customer is obviously a very, very important part of sales as well. So I look forward to reading more of the book. I'm going to keep this video a little bit shorter because I don't want to extend things too long. I don't feel that creative today. But let me know if you have any ideas or comments, guys. And check out my next video if you want. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Cheers.